Hi and welcome to the next lecture. Okay, so I want to quickly go through what a multi-submaterial and a multi-sub-object is, because this can be quite confusing if you sort of don't get a handle on it, and we are going to be using these going forward. So you recognise this here from the last lecture, our material and images. Remember we said all these go inside our material to make up our material. So for example, a multi-sub-object is a 3D model that has multiple materials on it. So for example, I've written down here a wooden door and that has a metal handle, and that's quite common, I guess, or some other metal attachments. So you clearly have a wooden door, which is wood, and metal handle, which is metal. So you have two types of materials on one model, and that is a multi-sub object basically. So to cope with that, we have to create what we call a multi-sub material. A multi-sub material, and this material gets assigned to the model. So what we have to do is create multiple materials, like we have. There's the first one, and there's the second one. So we have two different materials, and this one could be your wood, and this one could be your metal. And each one of these materials gets assigned an ID. So it's ID 1 and ID 2. 1, 2, and then these two materials get put inside this submaterial like this. So you have two separate materials inside one material, and it knows, and because they have their own IDs, the application knows, like 3D Studio will know what's what. They'll know that this is wood, you know, and it will know that this is metal because we've given them these IDs. So when we come to assigning materials to our objects, we can give each face a material ID. And in this case it'll be 1 or 2. So everything in this model that has material ID 1 assigned to it will be wood. Everything that has material ID 2 assigned to it will be the metal handle. And that essentially is what multi-sub-material. So that's a multi-sub-material with multiple materials in it, and that's a multi-sub-object with a multi-sub-material assigned to it. That's it. And you understand this, you know, these images go into these individual materials here. You know, this is one material which we talked about previously. That's a separate material, and then these go into a sub-material. And like I say, I'll show you all this as we go along. But you know, once you know, just to visualize it and get a sort of rough handle on it now, it will become clearer once we do it. So I don't expect you to absorb all this straight away. You know, once we start doing it, it will be a lot clearer. And I'll identify these lectures when I create a multi-sub material. I'll refer back to this lecture so that you can remember what I said, and it will spark. So as long as you get that basic idea, these are basically containers for images, if you want to think of it like that. So here's all your images which make up a material. Well, they just get put in a box, all of them essentially. And then same with this one here. This gets put in a box. Then these two materials get put in another box, and that one box gets assigned to that box. You know, it's as simple as that, really. You know, you can it's what make these materials and the properties that we assign to them that make this model over here look good. That in essence is multi-sub materials and multi-sub objects. If you have any questions about that, please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you in the next lecture.